We are all talking about finding ways to ground your to ground yourself, especially as things have heated up lately, and you hear it all. The astrologers are talking about that. We've been talking about that for a little while now. How you need to get ready, put your seatbelt on because things are about to go faster and quicker. And finally, that this time has arrived, we are in the thick of it. I don't know if you've been feeling it, but I have been feeling it. It's just absolutely insane. The energetic, the atmosphere, the vibe is intense. It's faster, it's quicker. We definitely all feel we can agree that the pace has picked up compared to, I'm not saying that we were living in the utopia back then or last year or 2 3 years ago, far from it. But if it was already crazy back then it's gotten even crazier. So that's why we need to really find a way to center ourselves. I recently uploaded a little snippet of me doing sound healing. I had no idea how to do sound healing back then because that's something that, I'm learning. Still, sound healing is before I get into that, what's the purpose of today's episode? It's just really grounding those concepts in reality because we always talk about share these beautiful concepts, but sometimes they can feel like they're floating up in the air. What exactly does that mean? So I wanted to make a this little episode really practical where I'm showing examples perhaps to inspire you, things that you can maybe add to your own life and show you what exactly it means in a tangible way. Because my signature here is we're taking the spirituality, we're taking the woo woo, and we're grounding it because nothing annoys me so much when I hear people talking about. Here's the thing about me. It annoys me, but at the same time, I'm the kind of person I live and I let other people live their life. I'm not about to go and judge them and be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. No. I understand we all have different things that different things that rock our boat. It's okay. That's the beauty of life. That said, it grinds my gears here. We humans, we like to overcomplicate things that don't need overcomplicated. They don't need overcomplication. Things like 12D humans. I don't know what D we're what level D we're at right now because I lost count. But if that's something that you love this sort of language and then you have fun, good. That's the purpose of life. Find whatever works for you, whatever ways that can make things enticing and that can really make you curious and really have fun in day-to-day life. But also, if you're the kind of person who prefer things to be a little bit more simple because they get overwhelmed really fast, then, you know, this episode is for you today. So, what exactly it is to find your center? You always hear people say that all the time. All the healing people, the healing people, always saying that, find your center, ground yourself, and all of these things. I don't even know when that became a language, but I'm really sure that ChatGPT had something to do with it. I really realized a lot of words kind of started sipping into our language, our vocabulary because of ChatGPT. I don't remember prior to ChatGPT, I don't remember us using the word embodiment that much. Another word that is really ChatGPT coded is re I can't think of any words right now because this is not part of my outline. Actually, I don't even have an outline today for this episode. But anyway, I digress. My point is going back to the sound healing. So a few weeks back, I recorded something. It was just trying to have fun and trying to find ways to bring calm into my life, right? Because this is the time. What I want you to get from this episode today, if you don't get anything else, one thing that I want you to get, this is a time where we cannot be on autopilot. I mean, you can, but if you let yourself drift away with the current, it's just going to be a tough time. Not jinxing anybody, knock on wood. There's wood right there. Am I superstitious like that? But it's just the time. I just want you to understand that the energy is about to get even more fast, quick. It's going to get faster before it slowly stabilizes. We always talk about how whenever we have planetary shifts, meaning whenever planet change sign, as we've seen recently, as I've talked and touched upon in so many episodes so far, the things tend to accelerate. It's that you can see it as while the planet is recalibrating in its new home, the energy picks up. Things are faster. Even us, it's new energy, a new way of doing things, a new way of being that we need to acclimate ourselves to, right? We need to we need to accustom ourselves to. So there tends to be a lot of instability whenever there is a planet switching sign, and with all of the activities we've seen lately, and the way that most people don't necessarily care or don't have the capacity of the awareness to self reflect, many people are going to be acting a little bit more primal. For example, right? The reason why I pay so much attention to astrological forecast, it's not because I want to be a magician and I'm a control freak. Maybe I'm still a control freak on one side, but the real reason behind it is so that I can know what's the weather today, the same way that it's raining outside. And yesterday I bought myself an umbrella because it's raining today, so I'm gonna take my umbrella out when I go for a walk because, well, I don't want to get drenched up. I don't want to get sick, you know? It's to me, it's the same way. I see astrology in the same way. The forecast wanting to know, okay, do we have Mars that is squaring the sun, or Mars that is squaring Pluto, or Mars that is squaring? Do we have two very intense, fiery energies that are in a square, in a fight position? That, because what that means, I'm just giving you a random example right now. I don't have any notes. I'm not basing myself on any specific real life event. It's just an example. So I want to know, because that translates to specific energy. That means that's gonna equate to restlessness, anger. And what that means is that when I step outside and when I have another taxi driver, trying to hit on me, but then getting mad because I'm not responsive, and then starts cursing me out. By the way, real life story. I wish that was that was uh, that was lying. I wish that was a made up example, but this is not a made up example. This has been my real life story lately. So, one of those things that when you can't change it, what do? You just laugh about it. But on a serious note, when I'm facing all this anger and all of this aggressivity, yes, I'm human. Sometimes I get carried away. But the goal of being aware of all of these energetic movements and all of these things is so that I can know how they impact us. What's the energetic weather? That way, whenever I'm faced with, for example, that aggressive taxi driver, then I can slow down the movement by not stepping in, by not playing in his game, right? I detach. I I I, I pretty much stop the reactivity chain, because this is in a way, this is why we're having so much war in the world also, right? You have so much pent up energy, so much like testosterone. Not saying that it's only men. Okay, let's not turn this into a gender conversation, but I'm using, I don't know, I'm thinking about testosterone right now because I went to the gym recently, and it's always interesting seeing how different people are acting at the gym. But anyways, so when we have so much fiery energies, when we have so much heat and nothing to counterbalance it on the other side, then what happens? It just takes over, and nothing and everything in life requires balance. Nothing that's taken to the extreme is never good. That applies to everything in our lives. So, this is why I'm saying that nowadays you need to be very aware. Otherwise, you're just gonna get swept into that current. Everyone is reactive around you. It's very easy to lash out also, right? When that taxi driver start cursing me out because I don't react to him, because I don't want to give my phone number to a random stranger. It would be very easy for me to curse him back. But what good does that serve? Then all that does is that I was having a good day. Now my day is ruined. I'm in a bad mood. My cortisol increases. You get the point, right? It's just that little moment that can change your entire day. So that is the value of slowing down. Even in Kabbalah, the first thing we learn is pause, the power of the pause, and always implementing it. So this is why we're doing all of these things. And this is why I'm saying that, because this is going to be the energy, that intense, fiery energy for a little while. So you need to be more aware about how what you participate in. That also includes the media you consume. That includes the type of people you hang out with, because you we become the sum of our environment, right? The people we hang out with. Even here, I've been here for like about a few months now. I've already noticed myself, even with all the awareness, I already noticed myself being a little bit more sharp, which is a good thing, because sometimes you have too much softness, and it's really good to balance things out. But I've also noticed that the environment is also impacting me in my own, little ways. So all this to say that we need to be very aware, that way we can show up with intention. And an example I wanted to give about grounding is, for example, those little sounding bowls that I love to play with. Maybe that's something that you like. Maybe you can start attending more sound healing. Maybe you can connect to some on YouTube. Another thing that I mentioned I did last time is, I'd rather leave my house early. I'd rather have less, what's the word I'm looking for? Convenience. I'd rather say no to the taxis and then take a 45-minute walk to go where I'm going to, just to have a peaceful walk by the water. It's not that peaceful, by the way. You can still hear the cars, you know, honking and beeping, because the sea is on the left and then the road is on the right, but it's a little bit far. Not far, maybe 500 meters. And then some point, the more I keep walking, the more deeper I get into the forest. I call it forest, but it's actually a park. And that way you can create your own oasis. That's why I'm sharing this example, to give real life example. What the hell does it mean when we're always saying find your grounding, find your center, ground yourself? That's what it means. And I'm not gonna lie, with that example I'm sharing with you, I can already feel my stress level going down tremendously, because this is counterbalancing intense fiery energy with calming activities. Other things you could do to find your center. For example, I talk about that a lot. I really loved my whole little routine, have my Palo Santo. Like, I'm almost running out now, and I can't find this where I am right now in the Caucasus. So I'm gonna cry when I run out of my last stick. But find whatever, turn your showers into a blissful spa. My preferred shower method is, I've been doing that consistently, maybe for about 2 years now. Consistently, even if I have 1 minute. It only takes a few seconds. Light up the Palo Santo, turn off the lights. I light up my candle, and then I play a calm playlist. Sometimes it's psychedelic, like Travis Scott. I don't know. I really like this sort of music lately. Other times it's just some classical music, the piano, the saxophone, or one of those spa like type of music. And I promise you, even if it's just 1 minute, because I love me a long shower, but I don't always have the possibility to do long showers. Like, all of us, we're busy. And even if it's just 1 minute, I promise you, it's so magical. It's almost like a reset. So I do that in my morning showers. I do that in my evening showers. I'm the kind of person I like to take a shower before going to bed. And I need a shower after I wake up, because it's like my wake up signal. Some people have coffee. Well, I have a shower. That's my coffee, because I don't really need the coffee that much. I enjoy it, but it's not part of my I need it to function in the morning routine. Me, it's the shower that I need, my little 1 minute spa. And what else I was thinking about? So sometimes when I'm taking my walk, I try my best to connect with the sound of nature. But sometimes when those taxi beeping, the cars beeping are getting too loud, I'll pop in my headset and play on a podcast, right? So it's finding those. I'm gonna do more episode in that series because I think it's so important, and I think it's those little actions that we don't fully understand, as in we tend to not see, we don't file them as significant. It's like, oh yeah, that little thing I do. But I'm really starting to realize they are the most important ones. Because think about it. We tend to value, oh, I'm going on a vacation because it's this grandiose thing. But how often do you go on vacation? How often does the average person goes on vacation? Like even me right now, I'm from Canada, but I'm currently in the Caucasus, just ended up there thanks to Uranus. I don't know how long I'm going to be there. Again, thanks to Uranus. But this is not a vacation. It's a vacation town, but it's not a vacation for me, you know? So, because I'm just living normal life. It's just in a different town, in a different city. But I'm living normal life, working the same 8, 9, 12 hours a day like everyone else, and doing shopping, running errands. If you could see behind the camera right now, you'd see my clothes drying on the clothing rack. I really have a weird obsession for laundry lately. I don't know, I find that so soothing. So we don't, all this to say, we're not going on this crazy 2 weeks vacation. That's not the norm. And if it was the norm, I don't think it would be that special. These are things that we do. This is like a small percentage of what we do in life. Most of life is made of the mundane, the everyday grind that we do. And this is why I think those little moments are so important. Things like having your little spa moment every day. Things like, oh, is this road stressing you out when you go to work? Try to find if there's another quieter road that you can take. Maybe you can walk. Maybe you can, sometimes it's just a tiny little adjustment that we often don't see, but just being open to it. And then the universe will slowly guide you. And pay attention to what you're consuming. So I want you to start seeing yourself as an island, right? We are living, you are part of a cluster of island. I believe that's called an archipel. What's archipel in English? Archipelago, something like that. I swear sometimes I really struggle with English so hard. Anyways, it's a cluster of islands, right? And you have your own island. Your responsibility, you are the captain of your island, and your responsibility is to make sure that there's order in your island. There might be crazy chaos in the other island, but you don't need to let this affect you. Or even if it's going to affect you, you can reduce the impact as much as possible. This is what those little routine are allowing you to do. They're allowing you to infuse peace and groundedness and centeredness. Here I go with those ChatGPT words into your life. Right, my love, you get my point. So I'm going to keep on these series the more I think about it, because I'm realizing more and more how important it is. In the next one in that series, I'm going to touch upon intuition, connecting more to it because it's your compass. I wanted to talk about this in this episode today, but this is getting a little bit too long. So we'll continue on in another episode in that same series of centeredness. Your inner peace. Can we just call it like that? Your inner peace. So that is it for me today. I also wanted to say, my love, part of your inner peace is also having your own team. So if you are looking for someone to help you get through whatever issues you're going through life, right? I do have all my booking link down below where I do birth chart readings. Also, we troubleshoot whatever emotional problem, whatever life problem you're going through. We troubleshoot them with spirituality and also your own specific transit, your own specific movement in the sky, because they are energies that are affecting us in real time. And on that note, all those links are down below. And also, I do have that new quiz that I made, which is all about discovering where you at on the spectrum, discovering your own emotional signature, because you are going to move very differently in life based according on your own signature. Think about it. We all have our own emotional imprint, kind of like your fingerprint, and it is pretty much ruling your life. And you need to know about it so that you can rule it. On that note, my love, I will see you. All the links are down below, and I will see you in the next one. Keep shining bright like a diamond. Bye.